some people grieve at the loss of an animal. Some people will grieve at the loss of a job. Some people will grieve over letters that come in the mail or on email. And so when we talk about Jesus as the next door Savior and he comes alongside people that grieve, I want us to look at a story here tonight. This Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick, was the same one who poured perfume on the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair. So the sisters sent word to Jesus, Lord, the one you love is sick. So the stage is set, right? You've got Lazarus, and his problem is what? He's sick. Yeah, no, it's not because he's got the sister Mary, Martha. No. His sisters. But he was sick. And the Lord is the one, in verse 3, it says, so the sisters sent word to Jesus. So now Jesus is introduced. Lord, the one you love is sick. As if Jesus had no clue to this, but nonetheless, they felt the need to let him know. Verse 4, when he heard this, Jesus said, the sickness will not end in what, church? It's not going to end in death. No, it's for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it. Now, I want you to underline that because that's the key to this whole story right here. So many of us are gonna see something at the very end, and yes, it's true, but really the reason that Jesus is going to do what he does in this situation is so that God's glory may be shown. Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Yet when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. When he said to the disciples, let's go back to Judea, but Rabbi, they said, a short while ago the Jews tried to stone you, and yet you're going back there? Isn't it funny? We still do the same thing today. Everyone's telling Jesus what he needs to know, right? We're still doing that in 2009. Jesus answered, are there not 12 hours of daylight? A man who walks by day will not stumble, for he sees by the world's light. It is when he walks by night that he stumbles, for he has no light. Now check this out. After he had said this, he went on to tell them, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going there to wake him up. His disciples replied, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better. He will get better. Jesus had been speaking of his death, but his disciples thought he meant natural sleep. So then he told them plainly, Lazarus is... Oh, you guys are so good. Lazarus is dead. So he's gone from being sick to now he's dead. Termina, finished, no mas, he's done. Lazarus is dead. And for your sake, I am glad I was not there so that you may believe, but let's go to him. Then Thomas said to the rest of the disciples, let him also go, that we may, what? Die with him. Verse 17. On his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Bethany, not our Bethany, but Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem. And had many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them in the loss of their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home. Lord, Martha said to Jesus, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know now that even now God will give you whatever you ask. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha answered, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even though he dies, and whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?